Hello, everybody. This is Keith and Rachel coming to you again with a short devotional video, hoping that this finds you doing well and that everything is okay with you and your family. Keeping in touch with people seems to be a daunting task right now with everything that's going on. But, when you stay in touch, it means that you're close to somebody. And, we want to stay in touch, especially with people that we love, with friends and neighbors and our family. But one of the greatest obstacles, I think, for people is not to be so distracted as to wander away from the Lord. If we're going to be near anyone and we want to stay close to anyone, brothers and sisters, it needs to be Jesus. Don't let him get so far out of your sight. As a matter of fact, we need to stay as close to him as we possibly can. Staying near to the Lord is something that works on his behalf as well as ours. Because whenever we make a move towards the Lord, the Bible says he in turn makes a move towards us. I was reading in the book of James this week in chapter 4 and verse 8, where the writer said, "Draw nigh or near to God, and he will draw nigh to you." You know what that says to me? Is that when God sees you moving towards him, he in turn moves toward you. Simultaneously, the distance between you and God becomes smaller when you make your move towards him. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Isn't that a comfort to know that during these times or any time, if you find yourself away or estranged or so far from God, just remember this: he's right where you left him. He has not changed. He's right where you left him. There's a story in the New Testament that we talk about a lot, and we refer to this fella as the prodigal son. You remember the story. The prodigal son came to his father one day and he says, "I want what is my inheritance. I want what is laid up in store for me." And he took everything that his father gave him. And the Bible says he went off into a far land and he lived his life riotously, and he frivolously wasted all his money and his belongings. And then one day, you know what happened? He was so poor and so estranged and so away from his father that he was going to eat the very things that the pigs were eating. And he came to his senses, the Bible said. Friend, if you have wandered away from Jesus, don't you think it's time you came to your senses? Don't you think it's time that you go back and find the one that loved you enough to die for you? But the thing about that story that really struck me was this verse in Luke chapter 15. Because the father every day was looking for his son, waiting for his son to come home. And friend, if you're away from God today, I want you to know God's looking for you. He's waiting on you to come back home. And the Bible says in Luke 15, chapter 20, the Bible says that, and he arose, being the prodigal son, and came to his father. He went home because he knew that the servants in his daddy's house had a better life than he had. And he says, "I'm going back home and I'm going to beg my father just to make a servant out of me." But you know what? The Bible says when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him because he was waiting on him and had compassion. And I love this part. And he ran and fell on his neck. He, in turn, saw his son coming. He didn't walk. This old man, who I'm assuming he was old, he was his father, ran towards his son and fell on his neck. That's just a good old-fashioned hug, and kissed him. And the son said unto him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and I'm no more worthy to be called your son." He said, "I'm not worthy, Daddy, but if you'll have me back, I'd like to come home." And the daddy said, "I'll do better than that." He said, "Put a robe on him, put a ring on his finger, kill the fatted calf. We're going to have a celebration." And friend, if you don't know this Jesus today, I want you to know that heaven will celebrate. Angels will rejoice. over the news that one soul has come home. Is that you, friend? He wants you to be home. Don't be estranged. Come to him. He'll send Jesus right where you are to save you today. God bless you, friend. We love you. We hope you're doing okay. And if you need Rachel or I for anything, please don't hesitate to ask. God bless you is our prayer. We love you.